Hey everyone, welcome back in to Ion Agriculture. I'm Britton Rucker. Chinch bugs have infested quite a few Kansas fields, causing some major damage. I'm joined now with K-State crop entomologist Jeff Whitworth. As always, Jeff, welcome back to the program.
Oh, my pleasure, anytime.
Now, what damage have you seen the bugs do here in Kansas?
Well, right now the wheat is senescing, maturing, turning golden, whatever you want to call it, and the bugs are coming out of the wheat. They've been feeding in the wheat. The adults have been laying eggs, and now they're coming out as nymphs. Any sorghum that is being planted now then is probably good to go. Written, it's a timing thing with avoiding chinch bug problems. The plants that I've seen already germinating are pretty well being covered up by chinch bugs. As you know, in 2023, we went into the fall or the winter with a huge chinch bug population from last summer. And you never can predict what that overwintering survivorship is going to be like. But it looks, at the fields I've seen in south central and north central Kansas, looks like survivorship was pretty good. So the timing thing, as the wheat senesce, the chinch bugs feed on grasses. They suck the juice out of a plant. So they don't chew up the leaves. They just suck the juice out of the plant. So we get much more damage like last year when it's a dry period. This year we've had some rain. I know a lot of questions are, will this rain help my chinch bug problem? You know, chinch bugs aren't going to drown. They float. So very often if you get a runoff on a wheat field or plowed ground, those chinch bugs are going to float and they're going to pool wherever that water pools. So wherever that is, you might have a huge population of chinch bugs, and the rest of it may not be so bad. But they won't drown. They float. Eggs, nymphs, adults, they all float. So right now they're moving out of the wheat, and they're moving into any grass. Volunteer wheat is another good reason to get rid of volunteer wheat. Sorghum, which is usually planted by now or just now being planted. Corn's usually up enough that they can withstand quite a bit of bug feeding. But right now it's the sorghum we're worried about. And for the next 2 weeks, if you can hold off planting for the next 2 weeks, that's the best thing. You'll miss that walking generation. The nymph or immature chinch bug, why I say timing is important. It cannot live very long without food, maybe 3 to 5 days. So if they can't find a succulent grass to feed on, they're going to die naturally. They can't walk. They can't fly. They can't jump. They have to walk, but they can't walk more than about 50 yards. So if you can hold off planting right adjacent to wheat for 2 weeks, it will solve the problem just by timing. You don't have to treat. If you do have to treat, as always, make sure you use plenty of gallonage, plenty of carrier or water to get the insecticide to the insect, because the insects are going to be underneath the soil, underneath the residue, right at the base of the plants. So you need to use enough gallonage to make sure you get that.
Jeff, as always, thanks so much for coming on to the program. Everyone stick around to Ion Ag. We'll be back after the break.